Question: how does journaling help individuals process emotional trauma? Answer: journaling provides a safe space for individuals to express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences, aiding in processing and understanding emotional trauma. Question: what is the role of medication in treating emotional trauma? Answer: medication, such as antidepressants or anti-anxiety drugs, can help manage symptoms of emotional trauma, particularly when used in conjunction with therapy. Question: how can mindfulness meditation help trauma survivors manage distressing thoughts and emotions? Answer: mindfulness meditation teaches individuals to observe their thoughts and emotions without judgment, reducing the impact of distressing thoughts related to trauma. Question: how can individuals find meaning in post-traumatic growth after emotional trauma? Answer: finding meaning involves seeking positive outcomes, personal growth, and a renewed sense of purpose after experiencing emotional trauma. Question: what is the role of cognitive restructuring in treating emotional trauma? Answer: cognitive restructuring involves challenging negative thought patterns and replacing them with healthier, more adaptive ways of thinking to alleviate distress. Question: how does emotional trauma impact attachment styles in relationships? Answer: emotional trauma can influence attachment styles, leading to anxious, avoidant, or disorganized patterns of relating to others. Question: can mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, help individuals cope with emotional trauma? Answer: yes, MBSR techniques, such as meditation and mindful breathing, can help individuals manage stress, anxiety, and emotional reactivity associated with trauma. Question: how does unresolved emotional trauma affect decision-making? Answer: unresolved emotional trauma can lead to impulsive decision-making, risk-taking behavior, and difficulties in assessing consequences. Question: what is the role of neurofeedback in treating emotional trauma? Answer: neurofeedback involves training individuals to regulate brain activity, potentially aiding in symptom reduction and emotional regulation related to trauma. Question: how can individuals cultivate self-compassion to aid in emotional trauma recovery? Answer: cultivating self-compassion involves treating oneself with kindness, acknowledging suffering, and practicing self-care to promote healing from emotional trauma. Question: what is the impact of emotional trauma on body image and self-esteem? Answer: emotional trauma can lead to negative body image perceptions and lower self-esteem due to the psychological and emotional effects of the trauma. Question: how can emotional trauma impact one's sense of identity? Answer: emotional trauma can lead to a disrupted sense of identity, causing individuals to question their values, beliefs, and perceptions of themselves. Question: what is the role of family therapy in healing from emotional trauma? Answer: family therapy involves addressing family dynamics and communication patterns to facilitate healing and mutual support among family members affected by trauma. Question: how does emotional trauma affect dreams and sleep patterns? Answer: emotional trauma can lead to vivid nightmares and sleep disturbances, contributing to sleep disorders like insomnia or sleep apnea. Question: what is the significance of self-care routines in managing emotional trauma? Answer: self-care routines, including exercise, healthy eating, relaxation techniques, and hobbies, contribute to overall well-being and aid in managing the impact of emotional trauma. Question: how can cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, help individuals reframe negative thoughts related to emotional trauma? Answer: CBT teaches individuals to identify and challenge negative thought patterns, helping them reframe distressing thoughts and emotions associated with trauma. Question: how can individuals manage triggers related to emotional trauma? Answer: managing triggers involves identifying them, developing coping strategies, and gradually desensitizing oneself to reduce the emotional impact. Question: what is the role of body-oriented therapies in emotional trauma recovery? Answer: body-oriented therapies, such as somatic experiencing, focus on physical sensations and body awareness to help individuals release and process stored trauma. Question: how can storytelling and narrative therapy facilitate emotional trauma healing? Answer: storytelling and narrative therapy allow individuals to reconstruct their trauma experiences, gain perspective, and find empowerment through retelling their stories. Question: what is the impact of emotional trauma on self-worth and self-esteem? Answer: emotional trauma can lead to lowered self-worth and self-esteem due to negative beliefs stemming from the trauma experience. Question: how can individuals build resilience against emotional trauma? Answer: building resilience involves fostering strong social support networks, practicing self-care, engaging in mindfulness, and developing healthy coping strategies. Question: what is the role of self-compassion in healing from emotional trauma? Answer: self-compassion involves treating oneself with kindness and understanding, which can aid in healing and recovery from emotional trauma. Question: how can healthcare professionals prevent burnout related to working with trauma survivors? Answer: healthcare professionals can prevent burnout by setting boundaries, seeking supervision, practicing self-care, and participating in ongoing training. Question: what is secondary trauma? Answer: secondary trauma refers to the emotional toll experienced by those who hear or witness traumatic stories from others, such as healthcare providers or therapists. Question: how can families and loved ones support someone recovering from emotional trauma? Answer: support involves active listening, avoiding judgment, encouraging professional help, and showing patience and understanding. Question: what are the long-term effects of untreated emotional trauma? Answer: untreated emotional trauma can lead to chronic mental health issues, relationship difficulties, and physical health problems due to the ongoing stress response. Question: how can artistic expression help in processing emotional trauma? Answer: artistic expression, such as through writing, painting, or music, can provide an outlet for emotions, facilitate healing, and promote self-discovery. Question: how does early intervention impact recovery from emotional trauma? Answer: early intervention through therapy or support groups can help prevent the development of more severe symptoms and promote faster recovery from emotional trauma. Question: can emotional trauma lead to physical health problems? Answer: yes, chronic emotional trauma can contribute to physical health issues like cardiovascular problems, immune system dysfunction, and chronic pain. Question: what is the role of mindfulness-based interventions in treating emotional trauma? Answer: mindfulness-based interventions, such as meditation and yoga, can help individuals regulate their emotions and reduce the impact of emotional trauma. Question: can emotional trauma impact physical sensations and pain perception? Answer: yes, emotional trauma can lead to heightened physical sensations, altered pain perception, and somatic symptoms due to the mind-body connection. Question: what is the role of spirituality in healing from emotional trauma? Answer: spirituality can provide a source of strength, comfort, and meaning for individuals recovering from emotional trauma. Question: how can individuals cope with adversary reactions related to traumatic events? Answer: coping with adversary reactions involves planning self-care activities, seeking support, and engaging in positive rituals to commemorate the event. Question: what is the impact of emotional trauma on self-esteem? Answer: emotional trauma can erode self-esteem due to feelings of guilt, shame, or negative self-perception stemming from the traumatic experience. Question: how does emotional trauma affect emotional regulation? Answer: emotional trauma can lead to difficulties in regulating emotions, causing mood swings, intense anger, or emotional numbness. Question: can emotional trauma lead to addiction and substance abuse? Answer: yes, individuals may turn to substance abuse as a way to cope with the emotional pain caused by trauma, leading to addiction. Question: how does exposure therapy help individuals recover from emotional trauma? Answer: exposure therapy involves gradually facing the triggers associated with trauma, helping individuals desensitize and process their emotional responses. Question: what is the role of body-centered therapies in healing emotional trauma? Answer: body-centered therapies, such as somatic experiencing or dance therapy, focus on addressing trauma's physical manifestations to promote healing. Question: how can individuals re-establish a sense of safety after emotional trauma? Answer: re-establishing a sense of safety involves creating a safe environment, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care to regain a sense of control. Question: can emotional trauma impact personal relationships and intimacy? Answer: yes, emotional trauma can lead to challenges in forming intimate relationships, due to trust issues, emotional barriers, and fear of vulnerability. Question: how does emotional trauma impact children differently from adults? Answer: emotional trauma can disrupt a child's development, affecting behavior, learning, and emotional regulation. Early intervention is crucial. Question: what is the significance of narrative therapy in addressing emotional trauma? Answer: narrative therapy involves reframing one's traumatic experiences through storytelling, empowering individuals to take control of their narrative and find meaning in their trauma. Question: can emotional trauma affect memory? Answer: yes, emotional trauma can impact memory, leading to fragmented memories, flashbacks, or difficulty recalling specific details of the traumatic event. Question: how does emotional trauma affect sleep patterns? Answer: emotional trauma can lead to sleep disturbances, including nightmares, insomnia, and night sweats, impacting overall well-being. Question: what is the role of social support in recovery from emotional trauma? Answer: social support, from friends, family, or support groups, plays a vital role in recovery by providing validation, empathy, and a sense of belonging. Question: how can trauma-informed care improve outcomes for trauma survivors? Answer: trauma-informed care involves recognizing the impact of trauma, creating a safe environment, and using sensitive approaches to promote healing. Question: what are triggers in the context of emotional trauma? Answer: triggers are situations, places, or stimuli that evoke strong emotional reactions or flashbacks related to a traumatic event. Question: how does emotional trauma affect academic or work performance? Answer: emotional trauma can lead to difficulties in concentration, memory, and motivation, affecting academic or work performance. Question: what is the role of support animals in trauma recovery? Answer: support animals, like therapy dogs, can provide comfort, reduce anxiety, and promote emotional healing in trauma survivors. Question: how can cultural competence improve trauma-informed care? Answer: cultural competence ensures that care providers understand and respect cultural differences, promoting effective and sensitive care for trauma survivors from diverse backgrounds.